Let's see, at this time, we're going to have each of the people of our nation gather on a Monday in May on Memorial Day to pay solemn tribute to those who have served our nation in their time, helping to secure for us and our children the blessings, truth, and freedoms. During the Vietnam War, Volusia County lost 45 soldiers, sailors, Marines, and Air Force personnel. I would like at this time, I'm bringing up Dee Clark, Regent from the Daughters of the American Revolution, and her team, who will read those names. I have bell ringer Frank Daglion out in the back there, who provided us with a bell today. So I'll have Dee come up and at the microphone and read page 1 and just flip it and then leave. You'll come and read page 2. So Dee, come on up. And it's just left to right. So after each name, ring the bell.
Henry L. Allen, Charles R. Bill, George A. Birdwell, David W. Branch, Daniel S. Brooker, George R. Brown, William L. Brown, and Caesar Bryant.
Charles E. Cherry, Billy M. Crawford, James E. Cummings, William J. Durling, Rudy H. Dushek, Robert W. Fields, Robert C. Fox, James D. Gardner, Eugene Griffin, John H. Hathaway, Walter S. Hathaway, James B. Hamons, Charles E. Holloway, Ronald E. Johns, Frederick O. Jones, Hubert A. Harley, Richard B. Knight Jr., David G. Ledgerwood, Russell A. Leffler, Don R. Lewis.
James M. Masters Jr., Kenneth L. McFall, Alan I. Meshed, Charles Miller, Malcolm G. Moll, Kenneth B. Morris, Dennis C. North, Lee R. Peaks, Jerry W. Puff, Robert W. Prime.
John C. Robertson, Tommy L. Robinson, Donald E. Sizemore, Arthur W. Smith, Barney M. Smith, Raymond E. Tiffany, Warren Williams.
Thank you, ladies. Appreciate that. At this time, if there's anyone in the audience who would like to remember someone, if you want to come forward, that's fine. Or if you just, okay, right here.
Jimmy Adams.
Sir.
Master Sergeant Roland Ballou, Master Sergeant Mike Gushu, and Sergeant Bruce Clark.
Is there anyone else? There we go. My first vice.
Bill Atkins Jr., my father.
Specialist Raheem Tyson Hyder, my son.
My wife's cousin, who died 19 years old as a private, Charles Reamer Jr.
My husband's father, Richard Bryce Thornton.
My great uncle, Harold Kirkpatrick, in France, 1944.
Michael Strange, my son-in-law's uncle who died over Vietnam in the Med Corps.
My husband, who died last December, William X. Fouget.
My grandson, Major Samuel Griffith, Afghanistan, 2011. He was USMC.
My grandfather, Walter Edward Pacoda.
Sergeant Carl Gilliam.
My brother, Darrell L. Hurley. I've got this, Dad. Give me a minute. Joseph Francis Xavier Rooney Sr., World War II Navy. My brother, Captain Joseph F.X. Rooney Jr., Vietnam. My deceased husband, Gene Morris, Navigator, U.S. Navy. And I also would probably tell you about 3 Navy waves that are my aunts, and 5 uncles that served in World War II. So thank you for this opportunity to give honor to my family that I'm very proud of.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'd just like to do a remembrance for another one of our American Gold Star mothers who was unable to make it here today. Terry Gordon. Terry not only lost her son Brandon Gordon in 2007 in Afghanistan, she sadly lost 2 of her other sons in 2017. So she lost 3 sons. So I want to make sure that they are all remembered here today. And our son Brandon that served and lost his life in Afghanistan. Thank you.
My father, James T. Nixon, World War II Navy vet, who lies to rest in the cemetery.
Anyone else? We can come to you.
My uncle, Glenn Durham, who was an Army Ranger in World War II. He survived Anzio, Cisterna, and the Normandy invasion. And he came home and had a family. And my father, Russell Durham, who was sent to Italy on a B-24 Liberator as a waste gunner. And he also came home. And my brother, whose name you read earlier, Kenneth McFall from Vietnam.
Hey, Brad.
Dan Casey, Jacksonville, Agent Orange casualty.
Thank you. My father is buried in the cemetery in the back, and his name was Haskell Lawhorn. He was in Korea in the United States Marine Corps. My son is currently in the Marines, and he is overseas. And my dad was in the Korean War. My grandfather was in the Navy, and I was in the Navy.
Richard James McBrayer, Master Sergeant in the Air Force. He was a boom operator, as he liked to say. He used to lay on his belly and pass gas, but that was his saying. He just passed last year. He's a very, wasn't my father, but my best friend's dad, and we were all very close. Thank you. My father, he's still alive, but he's, yes, Master Sergeant Master Sergeant William E. Sparks.
Right down here.
Back again.
My husband, Kenneth Wentworth, who passed away 3 weeks ago. He was in the Air Force for 4.5 years.
My friend, Corporal Zachary Newberry, United States Marine Corps.
My brother-in-law, Gary W. Harmon. My father, Bill Kovac, served in North Africa, World War II. And I have to say that he lost one of his very best friends next to him. And I don't remember his name, but I think of him all the time.
Sorry to come back again. My husband can't seem to bring himself up here. So, Robert D. McGuire, Korean War vet, passed away a year and a half ago. He was my father-in-law.
My grandpa survived the war though, but his last name was Temple and I don't remember his full name, so yeah.
Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Oops, sorry.
My dad, Garmin Joe Porter, World War II, U.S. Army, and my brother, Garmin Lee Porter, who was in the U.S. Army.
Tony, right? Sir? Edsel Frick, Lieutenant, United States Army, Vietnam, 1968. Michael Goodbread, from Columbus, Georgia, Fort Benning, my hometown, 1968.
Now I'll read you the names of our 1048 members who are with our Heavenly Father. Airman First Class Michael Fitzgerald, Larry Babbitts, Sergeant Robert Johns, Staff Sergeant Bruce Bowden, Master Sergeant J.J. Martin, Sergeant Ron Tamburino, Hobson McLeod Bethune, Judge David Beck, Staff Sergeant William Robinson, Tech Sergeant Joe Pizzamenti, Brad Purdom, Lieutenant David Particelli, and our associate member Jeannie Chubb.
Thank you, sir.
I would just like to
have you all remember that we're still losing them to Vietnam for Asian origin. I just lost 2 cousins and a brother-in-law in the last year and a half. Thank you.